welcome to the Rev and True show. Today we're going to do our reactions to Marvel's Avengers Infinity War. And just to let you all know, there is going to be spoilers in this.
Yep, definitely spoilers.
Right, True.
Right. Let's go to the very first scene, which was, to be fair, epic as anything, right? Basically, the movie starts, it's dark, and it's like, you hear a distress call, don't you? The next thing you know,
Yeah.
you see the ship that was in, that all the Asgardians were, and Thor was on, being shot by the big ship of Thanos.
Yeah, let's just clarify. If you haven't seen this film, you need to go and see it. I will say, hands down, probably one of the best movies I've ever seen. Incredible
Definitely.
film.
It is going to be a classic.
It's by far the best Marvel movie that's been so far.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, so Thanos arrives basically on Thor's ship. If you've obviously seen Thor Ragnarok, it ends where Thor and Valkyrie and Loki, they're all on a ship, probably heading towards Earth, with all the survivors from Asgard, and you see Thanos' ship above their ship, ready to take it.
Yeah.
It carries on from there.
Then, so basically, you see the ship, they go inside the ship, and you see Thanos' children, Ebony Maw, Corvus Glaive, Proctor Midnight, and Black Dwarf. And you see Ebony Maw talking, and he's stepping over all the dead bodies. I mean, Heimdall's still alive.
Yeah.
You see Loki standing there, but it's like, wow, so many people have been already killed.
Handel's like barely alive, isn't he? He's just there lying there.
Yeah, he's just like looking around and thinking, shit, man, I shouldn't be here. Where's my sword? Yeah, so then he's just like, so basically he's talking, and then you see Thanos, right? Then he gives this epic speech of like, and that's like, how the movie's going to be, because it's like, wow, he means it,
Yeah.
Next thing,
His
reaches
presence
down.
when he just comes into the room, wow, you just know it straight away. He's big and beastie as soon as he walks in.
Yeah, and he picks up a guy, right? You're thinking, who's he picking up? Then you realise, like, shit, that's Thor. He's picking up Thor, and the size difference, like, wow. It's like, about the same, he's bigger than the Hulk. No, well, just a little bit smaller than Hulk, I think. But it's just, picks like Hulk, Thor up like he's nothing, and just drops him on the floor.
Yeah.
It's like, shit.
Hands are massive.
But
yeah, he's basically looking for the Infinity Stones, so that's why he's on board this ship.
yeah, he's already got one, hasn't he? He's destroyed one planet to get the Power Stone.
Yeah.
But then, he's like, I'm going to basically tell me what I need to know, Loki. Next thing you know, Loki's like, yeah, kill him, torture him, I don't care. He fucking puts his glaive or gauntlet to Thor's head and burns his face, man. I thought, what? They're serious. It's like, wow.
Loki gives in, doesn't he?
Well, I think they're set up to be a good guy. He's turning good now, isn't he?
Yeah, from Thor Ragnarok, he sort of changed his ways slightly, didn't he?
Yeah. But then you see, him giving all this speech. Then he says something, which reminds me of like the first Avengers. We have a Hulk. Next thing you know, bam! The Hulk is pummeling like Thanos and smack. Yeah, and you're thinking, oh yeah, this is it. The Hulk's gonna kick the crap out of him because he's strong. How wrong were we?
Yeah, Thanos just dominates him, doesn't he? And then at the end, he just picks him up and body slams him.
Yeah,
like throughout the last few films, though, because I heard something that the directors wanted to make another separate Hulk movie, but they thought they could break up his story over 3 parts. So the first part was for Ragnarok, where he's obviously stuck on Ragnarok. He's their champion. He's all high and mighty. He's full of himself.
Yeah,
and he is staying Hulk. He hasn't been Bruce Banner for what, like 2 years, is it? He's been strapped here. Now in this film though, he's more battling his side of. He doesn't, because he gets beat by Thanos. He doesn't want to come out now. It's like really dented his ego, so he doesn't want to come out and play now. So every time Bruce needs him or tries to call him out, he just doesn't want to do it. Yeah. He's screaming. Oh, he's like half his face is changed, but they reckon it's going to pan over to the next movie now, where he's going to try. Bruce Banner's got to get like that he can change into him willingly. They're both like 2 people. So whether
that's going to be a good story. I mean, I want to watch that. I do want to watch that. I mean,
definitely.
But yeah, definitely good. But what I like about the fight though is it's it's a proper. You can feel the punches. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like little slaps or anything. Thanos proper hurts the Hulk. Oh man.
Yeah.
But then.
Yeah, well, you
the
see,
Hulk's knocked
then
out.
he's knocked out, and then
Handle. That's when he saves his ass, doesn't he? Handle. It says something
Handle
about.
uses a sword, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, you go for sword. And it says it's about something like dark powers grant me the whatever the incantation. I can't remember what it is. Then he sends the Bifrost and gets the Hulk and gets him the hell out of there. I mean, to be fair though, he should have got
blast into Earth.
He should have got all three of them really, but they didn't want to do that. Then so basically, Hulk's flying through space. Handle, he gets gutted, man. Thanos is like, no, you shouldn't have done that. Bam, stabs him right through the stomach.
Kills him.
Fuck, man. I was gutted. I was like, no, not Heimdall.
And then to make things worse, he kills Loki as well, and that just leaves 4. He tends to always leave one person, doesn't he, left? A survivor.
Well, yeah.
Like he's
what
saying.
Gets me though, it's like how he kills Loki though, because Loki was like, I tell you what, Loki should have not said. He's like, oh yeah, I'm Odin's son. As soon as he said that, I thought, oh shit, this is not good. Because he looked at Thor when he said that, but he said, I'm the prince of Asgard and all this lot. But then he said, I am the god of mischief. It's like, why would you fucking say that?
Yeah, what a moron. But
he
took one for the team, didn't he, sort of thing? Saved his brother.
I thought he was gonna stab, Thanos in the neck. He got close, but he got stopped. Then he got choked the fuck out, man. I was like, no. And this was all in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Like, shit.
Just the film, just non-stop action from start to finish. It doesn't give you a time to have a breathe. You're just munching that popcorn as fast as you can.
Yeah.
But then from there, you see.
The ship blows up. The ship blows up, doesn't it?
The ship blows up, yeah. And there's people all like scattered through space.
Yeah, but then you go back onto Earth, and the Hulk flies through Doctor Strange's house while they're
That's Sanctum. He crashes through the Sanctum, doesn't he?
While they're on about eating sandwiches.
Now, in the comics, it's not actually the Hulk that crashes through. It's the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But in the film they put it in. It's just Bruce Banner's not the Hulk. He's just Bruce when he lands there.
Yeah, he changes back, doesn't he? And he's like, Thanos is coming. Thanos is coming. And like everyone's like, who? Then it cuts.
Yeah, no one has heard of him, have they, on Earth?
Yeah, no one knows who he is. Then it cuts to Tony Stark with what's her name?
Pepper Potts.
Yeah, Pepper Potts. That's it. Yeah, in the park, and he's on about dreams and stuff, which is kind of interesting.
Well, there's like a sub story there where she's wanting Tony Stark to retire so they can start a family, don't they, and get married and start a family.
Yes.
I think he's already married into but they want to start a family, and she's sort of like getting him to get out of it now. He's like too old to get, and he shouldn't be being an Avenger anymore.
But then he's got a big I don't know, it's the thing in his chest. It's like, well, you're going to retire, why you put that in your chest? He's like,
that's what
just in
keeps
case.
him alive, doesn't it?
No, he's taken that out, didn't he? He took it out in one of his, he took one of the Iron movies, yeah. I think he took it out, but the reason why he has it in there is because he said, just in case something happens. And that's why she looks so pissed at him. It's like, no. But then he
receives. Oh no, he doesn't receive a phone call, does he? Doctor Strange makes a walk,
turns up,
and just turns up, and confronts him, and Bruce obviously comes there with him as well.
Hugs him and starts crying. He's like, "What the fuck? What's going on here?" Then the next thing you see is, they're all back at Doctor Strange's house, the Sanctum, and they're all talking about, what's going on and all this lot. And basically, I love the banter between Doctor Strange and Iron Man. It's like it's really cool to see them two together. You haven't seen them together before, have you? And the way they're talking,
two guys with two big egos. Yeah.
Yes, and was it? Doctor Strange calls Iron Man, Tony Stark, a douche. I thought, did he call him a douche? No.
Well, it seems like Tony Stark's not taking the threat seriously, is he? He's there's just another Ultron or whoever. We'll just gather a few of us and we'll kill him. And he obviously doesn't know what the threat of Thanos is.
Even though he should do, because he'd already fought that army in the first Avengers movie. Because he destroyed, so he knows who. He doesn't know who they are, but he knows that big army. But he doesn't know that it actually belongs to Thanos. I don't think, which is a bit weird.
No.
But then next thing you know, a big ship just turns up in the middle of New York. You know, and so they all go outside and like, what's going on?
People dying and
yeah,
like madness, cars flipping and.
Then you see Spider-Man. He's on the bus. You know, his hair stand up for the first time, and you see that's when you first see the spider sense. It's like, oh shit, spider sense, cool man. Then he asks his mate to cause a distraction, and there's lots of fighting. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. And they all run to the back of the bus.
Panicking.
Yeah.
Then he just escapes out of a window, and that's when you see Stan Lee driving.
Stan the man.
Obviously, you have to have the cut scene with him.
Yes. So anyway, Spider-Man jumps out, goes on. Then they get into the fight. Iron Man gets hit by the Evermore quite hard, but then Doctor Strange gets choked out by Evermore, doesn't he?
Yeah, there is a huge fight scene there. Doctor Strange is like using a lot of powers. That fight scene's really good though. I thought it was really good. You know,
well done.
I think in this movie, Doctor Strange he's like one of the front runners in this film. I think big time. He's like he's stepped up like to up front there with Tony Stark in fighting, in doing all the fighting.
I think he's literally one of the few characters that are really really strong in the Marvel universe because he can control like reality and all that stuff. What I like though is when he got thrown against the wall, and Evermore tries to reach and touch his amulet, it burns his hand. That scene, I reckon. I think it basically is a homage to what do you call it? Indiana Jones, where that guy tries to get an amulet in the burning fire and burns his hand. I think it's a homage to that. But then
because he's got like a mystic spell over the time stone, hasn't he? So you can't grab it.
So basically, then he gets choked out. He's about to get carried away, but then Doctor Strange's cloak saves his ass and flies off, and he gets chased out by Evermore. But then Spider-Man joins the chase after he helps out Iron Man fight that big guy who loses a hand at some point. That was funny.
Yeah. Well, that's when he puts him through like a warp, doesn't he? Doctor Strange cuts his arm off.
Yeah. Oh, that was wicked, man. And then Bruce Banner kicks it. Like, no! Oh, he's such a girl. But then,
Bruce was trying to change into the Hulk. It wasn't going to happen, did it? It just didn't work
he had
for
that
him.
Jekyll and Hyde moment. He's like, why have we come out? Like, no! Oh, that was awesome, mate. That was awesome. But then you also see...
they start heading towards a ship, don't they?
And also, during all this, you see Iron Man and his new nanotech armor for the first time, which...
that's really cool. Yeah, it's amazing, that. And from there, what happens after that? They go to... They start heading towards the ship, don't they? Cause
they go to the ship. They get beamed up because Spider-Man says... Yeah, they capture him, and he's saying... Spider-Man goes, oh, I'm being beamed up in an Iron Man. So they go into space. Spider-Man's hanging on. He's losing oxygen. That's when Iron Man sends the new suit to Spider-Man.
Yeah, the one that he turned down from Homecoming, doesn't he? At the end.
Yeah.
He turns it down. Because he says, oh, go on, kid. You know, you could be an Avenger. Go and meet the press. Put your suit on. And he says, no, I'll just be your friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man.
Exactly, right? But then, what you hear, though, there's a little tiny Easter egg in this, right? Iron Man says, happy trails, kid, to Spider-Man. And then the parachute opens, doesn't it? Do you know where that comes from?
That's from Die Hard.
From Die Hard, exactly.
Yeah.
So basically,
happy trails.
Happy trails, yep, bam. He flies out, but Spider-Man hangs on. So anyway, Iron Man gets into the ship, so does Spider-Man. The ship just warps off.
They're in space then, aren't they? And they're struggling.
Yeah.
Because the scene prior to that is when Spider-Man's hanging on for his life, he's losing oxygen because he's flying up in space, he's going above the Earth's atmosphere. That's why he has to send the suit to him, because obviously the suit's all built for space and everything.
Yeah. So then after that,
from there, Iron Man's, he's up in there thinking of what to do, isn't he? He's like looking down from above, thinking what to do.
But then the story
because Doctor Strange is getting some like laser beam thing, like these like icicles, aren't they? Like against his face.
Yeah, surgery. Yeah.
All over his
body. Before that happens, the scene switches over to the Guardians finding Thor.
Oh yeah, so Thor just crash lands on the front of their windscreen, don't they?
Open
as
his
they're
eyes,
flying
right?
through.
Then they pull Thor into the ship, and I think that is the best scene where Drax is just taking the piss out of Star-Lord. It's like, who's this dude? No, you're the dude. This is a man. that was hilarious. And everybody's like, wow, he's so cool.
The Guardians bit, that seems to be where all the comical bits are, aren't there? There's lots of comedy bits in that though. It's right. It really, I think Thor, even in Ragnarok, he's quite funny with the Hulk. So I think they've tried to bring that out because a lot of people like that in Thor Ragnarok.
Oh yeah. It's
Thor's comedic side of things.
It's better than the first 2 Thor movies, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely.
But then what happens is, so basically they wake up Thor, and Thor's like, I've got to get out of here, and but no, he actually says as well that Thanos killed half the Asgardians. So hopefully that means that Korg, Valkyrie, and Meek are still alive, because those guys are hilarious in Ragnarok.
There's another theory to that the Asgardians can actually survive in space. They can breathe in space. Their race can breathe in... their race apparently can breathe in space. So some of them bodies that you saw floating around, if they weren't killed by Thanos, could actually still be alive.
Well, that's good. Well, and plus, Korg is just a pile of rocks, so hopefully he don't need to breathe.
Well, they need him back in it. He was great.
I'd love to see him in another movie, because he's really, really good. So basically, so you got basically Thor, turns around and calls, Rocket a rabbit. Oh, that made me laugh. Every time they said that, I was laughing. It's like...
Yeah, he does it throughout the film, doesn't he, call him the rabbit? The little rabbit guy.
But then you've got Star is trying to copy Thor's voice. Like, and everyone's like calling him on it. It's like, why are you trying to copy my voice? No, you copy my voice. And everyone's like, going, no, why are you lowering your voice for? And, that was funny. That had me.
He looks like he's put on a lot of weight as well, like around his face and stuff like that. He looks like he's a lot more porkier.
And when Drax would point to his chin and his stomach and everything,
oh, he's much more better looking than you.
Yeah, and when Rocky goes, I'm going to get some dumbbells. And Rocky's like, you do know you can't eat dumbbells, right? that was just perfect for me. But then they get on that small ship and they head off to the forge to make Thor another weapon. So again, the scene shifts again, and it's now in
there's
Scotland.
sort of a split off there, isn't there? So the split off there is Star-Lord, Mantis. Is it Mantis? The woman with the tentacle things on her head?
Yeah.
Drax. They go off to go and find Thanos.
And Gamora,
And Gamora. They go to find Thanos and they span off to go the other way.
Yeah, because, what was it? Yeah, so Rocket, Groot and Thor go to the Forge, and they're the good team apparently. Then Gamora, Drax, Mantis and Star-Lord, the morons, go to nowhere to find Thanos.
See you, morons.
See you, morons. Good luck, best of luck to you. So then they part ways. Then the scene shifts again to Scotland, where you see Scarlet Witch and the Vision, hooking up and stuff, trying out their relationship and all that.
One thing just to pan back on there. Thor, because he thinks the only way that he'll kill Thanos is to forge a new hammer. So that's why he's going to this planet to go and get a new hammer.
Yeah.
So just to clarify that. But so they carry on from there. And what was the next scene from that?
It was the one with Scarlet Witch and the Vision in Scotland.
Yeah,
I understand that they need to, pan out their relationship and everything. But for me, though, personally, the only nitpick I have is that part of the story, because that was then a bit where it's like, oh, come on, just move on. I want action.
Yeah, it was sort of like just slowed it down a tad bit. But I suppose you've got to have, a bit of toy, a bit of a love story in it, ain't you?
I suppose. I mean, to be fair though, that's the only little nitpicking I have of the whole movie. I can't fault it apart from that little bit, but that's just my preference though. But also what I've noticed
and
is
obviously
Scarlet Witch's voice,
Vision,
but her accent, it's not an Eastern European accent anymore. It's back to just being normal. It's like, okay, but we'll let that go.
I never noticed that. But I suppose with the Vision thing, because obviously Vision's he's a major part because he's got the Soul Stone in his head. So, there has to be a bit of a backstory with Vision.
Yeah, I think so.
I suppose,
No, I don't think it's the Soul Stone in his head. I think it's another stone, because the Soul Stone...
Is it not?
No, because the Soul Stone, what we're going to talk about later on, is not this one.
Okay.
Because he gets the Tesseract from Asgard. He gets the Power Stone from that planet, with the Nova Core on it. I don't know what stone it is, but I'm sure we'll figure out before the end of the video. So anyway, while they're watching TV, don't they? They see the carnage that's happened in New York. Next thing you know, they get jumped by Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight, two children of Thanos, and that fight is Vision gets kicked by the spear. Because he can't make himself...
he's wounded he gets wounded.
Yeah, he can't make himself, he can't phase out and stuff, and he gets battered. And they end up in, that, a railway station, subway thing, don't they?
Yeah.
Then, what happens?
Yeah, because they're trying to tear the stone from him. And then, after that, Captain America and,
Falcon and...
that's it.
Black Widow turn up, save their asses. Kicks the living crap. I mean, that fight was good, man. Didn't last long.
Obviously, panning back a little bit prior to that, when Doctor Strange was with Tony Stark, there was Bruce Banner was telling him, "Look, you need to call Captain America. We need his help." And he was reluctant to call him because obviously they fell out since Civil War. So now it sort of brings him into the fray now. Now Captain America's in there now.
Because Bruce Banner phones him up, doesn't he? So
yeah.
So basically, and the thing is about Captain America, he's wearing a black uniform, which is, I think, a homage to his character Nomad, the man without a country. So that was pretty good. Then basically they save the Vision and they take him onto the plane and they head back to New York. Then that's when the scene changes again, and it goes back to where the Guardians, the morons, are at nowhere, and they're trying to sneak into the Collector's place to find the Reality Stone.
That's
And you see Thanos standing on the Collector, tell me where the stone is and all that lot. And that is the bit where Chris Pratt, he's there with his fist, don't move, guys. And everyone just walking past him. Mantis holding their hands together, trying to sneak by. It's that's hilarious.
He's like, you guys go left. I'll go. Oh, then they've already gone.
Yeah, they've already gone. But then, what was it? Drax gets turned into a stone statue. Mantis gets turned into ribbons. But then, he holds Gamora, and prior to this, Gamora made Star-Lord promise to kill her if anything happens. And Star-Lord's holding the gun to Thanos, but then she reminds him, you made the promise to kill me. So he loads his gun, he shoots her, bubbles come out of his gun. What?
Because he's used the Reality Stone and changed reality.
Yeah.
And what he obviously says, for people that don't know, Gamora is Thanos' sort of, it's not his real daughter, but it's his stepdaughter. He's killed her planet and took her from a planet and raised her as his own daughter.
But also, what I'm thinking, do you know the bit where the gun and the bubbles and everything happen? I reckon that's a homage again to Marvel vs. Capcom, Thanos' move, where he can punch you in and put you in a bubble.
Ah, okay. I didn't know that. Because there's another scene where that happens as well, where he has bubbles come out as well.
Yes, there is. Yeah, there is. But, but then they disappear through a portal thing. Then you see Thanos and Gamora have a flashback where, you meet Gamora as a child and you see Thanos taking her. Then you see the citizens as well, because Thanos only wants to kill half the planet. And they have to take sides, go one side or the other side. Next thing you know, one side just gets brutally murdered. It's like, whoa.
Gunned down,
yeah. And and you see that, he does that. He's like, yeah. But he's there trying to keep her distracted so she doesn't see, but you see half the population get murdered. It's like, wow, that is brutal.
Just to go back, Vision's... He has the solar jewel in his head.
Oh, okay, cool. So that's that's the golden one. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the solar.
So anyways,
you
see Gamora in the flashback and everything. Then it cuts to Captain America landing back at the HQ, excuse me, of the Avengers building, and that's where War Machine's there, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to get court-martialed because he's not going to arrest Captain America. And that's when Black Widow tells you why Hawkman and Ant-Man's not in the movie, because Hawkman did an agreement with the government and is with his family, and Ant-Man... Hawkeye, sorry, yeah.
You said Hawkman.
Yeah, so that's wrong universe here, wrong universe.
Yeah.
So you got Hawkeye, he's with his family. Then you got Ant-Man, who basically signed an agreement with the government. It's under house arrest. So that's why they're not in the movie, but I think they're going to be big in the next movie.
Yeah, there is some rumours around, isn't there, that and obviously you got Ant-Man and Wasp, and that obviously is going to pan that story of why when he's under house arrest, what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is a few speculations from directors that you ain't seen the last of Hawkeye. You
won't. But I've heard also rumours though that Hawkeye's not going to be Hawkeye, he's going to be Ronin, which is another character, and because it's been pitched on the internet of Black Widow going to Japan and seeing the character in this black thing, and he looks like Ronin, and it looks like Hawkeye, but as Ronin.
Okay.
So,
alright.
We see, you never know yet.
But I think it probably, because Hawkeye was always a weak character, so I think if they did do that, at least it would, I don't know, spice him up a bit.
I suppose, I mean...
Because he always seemed like he was a back character, wasn't he?
Well, just a guy that can shoot arrows.
Pretty much, he wasn't very exciting, really.
No, not really.
He'd be one of the guys, really, that you'd expect to die in the movie if he was in it.
Yeah.
Just to get him out of the way.
Yeah.
No.
Then after that, they go to... They cut the scene again to where Doctor Strange is, and this is where he's on that thing where he's getting stuck in the face with all those needles that are causing him pain. Here's the thing though, in the comics, Ebony Maw actually breaks Doctor Strange. He actually, he loses his mind, he breaks, but in this one they don't, which is a good thing. I don't think, because he's supposed to be the strongest mind if he can do all that reality stuff. So we don't want him to be broken, we want him still to be a strong character. So basically, this is when Spider-Man lets Iron Man know that he's there, and he's like, what are you doing here? I sent you home. So anyway, he's still here now. That's when they come up with a plan to use a movie reference, which is awesome, because I love this movie. Right?
Yeah, great movie.
So basically, Iron Man comes out, and he's like, oh, you've made a mistake in all this lot. And Iron Man's like, well, the kid knows he's pop reference or something, and blows a massive hole in the ship. Ebony Maw flies out the ship into space and dies like the Queen out of Aliens. Awesome.
Yeah, there's like the scene from it where he Spider-Man's claws, because he in his new suit he's got like these big giant spider like like the legs of a spider come out.
Yeah.
And they grip onto the actual ship to hold him on. A bit like the scene where in Aliens where the Walker like falls when she drops the Queen down the hatch, and she's just like holding on using just the size of the actual Walker. It's exactly the same similar scene.
Yeah. Right, so basically then, you see Iron Man make him an Avenger, which is what he didn't do in the Homecoming.
He sort of like knights him, doesn't he? By putting his hands over both of his shoulders and knights him as an Avenger. That makes him happy. Peter Parker's happy after that. He's finally an Avenger.
Yeah.
So then from there on,
before that, another funny scene I liked, was the bit where Peter was like, "Hi, I'm Peter." He's like, "I'm Doctor Strange." Oh, we're using names then. Oh, I'm Spider-Man. That bit was funny.
Well, then they come up with a plan, don't they? They think instead of taking Thanos, if he's that powerful, instead of taking him to fight him on Earth where he could cause more destruction, they're going to go to Titan and fight him on Titan.
Exactly, yeah. So
in his
that's what they do.
In his home place.
They head there. So then they head to Titan, and basically they crash the ship, don't they? Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then that's when the Guardians turn up, and they get into a bit of a fight. And then you see a bit where Mantis walks towards Spider-Man. He's like, "No, don't put any eggs in me," which is a reference clearly to facehuggers
From Aliens.
from Aliens. Yeah. So you know the director loves Aliens, right?
Yeah, must have. Don't blame him. Good movie.
Yeah. So, anyways, they become friends, and then the scene shifts again to Gamora
To Wakanda
and
from
Thanos.
No? Oh, okay, yeah.
No, they're on the ship, and then they go to. And she's going to a room, and she sees Nebula. She's been caught, and you see, like, she's thinking, okay, she's there, but then the camera pans a little bit. And you see she's been, like, literally stretched out and all her parts been moved and everything.
Yeah, she's basically being dismantled.
Yeah.
Tortured by being dismantled.
And Thanos does something with his gauntlet, and the scream, she's in pain. And Gamora sitting there watching, like, oh shit, it's really bad. But then it shows that Nebula has a footage of Gamora saying that she found the Soul Gem, or the Soul Map that leads to the Soul Gem, and she's destroyed it.
Yeah, so basically Gamora tries to lie to him, doesn't she? And said that, would I lie to you and all this? And he's already seen the footage, so he knows that she's blatantly lying to her. So he shows her the footage.
So what he does is then he really starts to hurt Nebula. But I'm thinking, there's a theory here, right? Because in one of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, Nebula turns around and says, every time Thanos made her and Gamora fight, she always loses, and Thanos will always replace a body part. So I'm thinking that Gamora has seen how many body parts have been replaced, and she felt guilty. That's why she asks Thanos to stop, and he does, and she goes, "I know where it is. It's on this planet." And basically, he's like, "Take me there." So
just to pan from there, in the comic books though, instead of him dismembering her, he's more intent on like charring her flesh off.
Yeah, he's melted her basically,
burning her,
but makes it keeps her alive though, so she doesn't ever die. That's his constant reminder. Man, that is an evil scene, but it's part of the story, isn't it? But then from there we go to Thor and Rocket and Groot. They're in the ship, and they're talking everything, and Rocket's like, what, I've got to be the captain here. Thor seems down. I've got to talk to him, So he goes up to him. So he's like, your brother's dead, your father's dead, your sister, you killed her, she's dead. What about your mum? Thor's like, yeah, she's dead too. It's like, oh, okay, great. Well, like, what can you say from that? But then Thor's like, rage, hate and all that. It's good motivator. I've got nothing to lose. I'm motivated. But Rocky's like, I've got a lot to lose. So that doesn't make sense. But then he feels bad. So what does he do? He gets out an eyeball. And
he's got some kind of robotic eye, hasn't he, for him?
Yeah. And Thor puts it out. He's like, oh, but wash it first. You don't know what that's been. But he makes reference that he's been up his ass. But yeah, I do love the fact though that go on.
Yeah, as they're because is it there from there they go to go to the forge, don't they? From there.
Yeah, because it's like
is that the
yeah, that's the next scene. Yeah, where they go to the forge, and the star has been put out. So they get to the place. Next thing you know, they're being attacked by a massive dwarf, which is in fact Peter Dinklage. His name's Entry or something. He was the king of dwarves. And you see what Thanos did to his hands though? Basically, he kept him. He left him alive, but he'll make sure that he can never make any more weapons because he put his hand in iron or something. I don't know, but he can't ever use his hands.
Yeah, he's like melted his hands, hasn't he? Like, yeah. If you don't know that Thanos has been there, and that's who made the gauntlet that can hold. It's the only thing that's powerful enough to hold the stones.
Yeah, that's right.
So for Thanos to control them.
Yeah. But Thor says to him, look, in the day, like all the plans for the weapons and all that is in your head. It's not in your hand. It's in your head. So can you help us? So he's like, yeah, there's a weapon there called Stormbreaker, which we'll go on to in a second. But I need the star to be relit. So basically, Rocket and Thor go out into space, and they ignite the star, which is like the craziest thing that you see.
Yeah, it practically burns most of Thor's flesh off, doesn't it? To start it back up.
Yeah, because the part where he keeps the eye open, where the star comes in, it gets broken, so Thor has to open it himself and holds it open. That just shows he's a god. To be fair, he just like I can do this. But you know,
I think the thing with Thor lately, like from Thor Ragnarok, his powers like really increased from that moment. He's like turned more into a better god. I think he's become more powerful. Obviously, with the lightning and stuff that he had that he could control then in Thor Ragnarok, he's become like one of the front runners now of the Avengers. He is basically the man in the Avengers.
Yeah, well, before we said, who's a strong Avenger? It's like, it was Hulk. Now it's like, no, it could be Thor.
I think it's definitely Thor now.
So so basically, so Thor passed out, kind of. Next, he's dying, right? So he's like, Entry, the dwarf, is like, quickly get the weapon. We need a handle. Find a handle. So Groot, right, gets his arm, goes around the weapon and turns his arm into a handle, then cuts his arm off. Then Thor gets the hammer, so he stays alive. But on that note, though, right, because Groot has basically put his arm as a handle for the weapon, and that any part of Groot can regenerate and become another Groot, does that mean that the hammer could become Groot? In theory.
Could be. Yeah, could be. So so basically the Groot is hammer, or hammer is Groot. Something like that.
Yeah, I am hammer. Well,
the hammer that he creates there is the Stormbreaker, isn't it?
Yeah, which is like an axe / hammer. But interesting enough, though, right? There's a character in the Marvel Universe called Beta Ray Bill. His weapon, which was an axe, and he's got roughly the same powers as Thor, and he looks like Thor as well, is basically the Stormbreaker. So that could be a homage to that as well. So,
just a quick little Easter egg here, or reference, that Groot stole the eye in the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but apparently if you look at the eye that's in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, it's a different colour to the one that Thor's got. So there's a little bit of trivia for there, Peter. Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
The amount of eyes he's got, he's probably have those different colours. But yeah, so
he
anyway,
definitely has a thing for eyes.
He does. So he basically, the scene changes again, and he's back onto Titan, where you've got the Guardian of the Galaxy, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange all sitting there, and they're trying to come up with a plan. And Iron Man's telling the plan to Drax, and Drax yeah, I stopped listening to you. It's taking a, he just doesn't care. But then it's Star-Lord's yeah, I've got a plan. But let's not do your plan. Let's do my plan, because that way you've got more chance of it working. And, no one takes Iron Man seriously.
Seriously.
But then you see, Doctor Strange. He starts doing this face changing, and everyone's what's going on here? Then that's when he comes out.
He's and he goes, meditating, isn't he, in mid-air kind of thing.
Yeah, he's levitating. Then he's basically I've just been to the future, and I've just checked all the timelines and everything. It's okay, how many have you checked? 14 million? It's okay. And how many times did we win Thanos out of all those? 1. So I'm thinking...
Just the one?
Just the one. I'm thinking, in theory-wise, that the reality that they're in right now has to be the one where they win.
Yeah, it sort of works out that way towards the end of the movie. There's a few things that are said.
We'll talk more about that later on, but so then the scene cuts again where Gamora and Thanos arrives at that planet with a massive mountain on it, and they walk up, and then they see a character who turns out to be the Red Skull.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I didn't expect to see him now. What? Fucking Red Skull.
At first I was who's this guy with the hood over his head? It looked like the Grim Reaper. I was what the hell is that?
When I first saw it, I thought, shit, it's Death. But I thought she wasn't going to be in it.
the same thing, yeah.
But then it's
exactly the same.
Then it's oh shit, it's the Red Skull. And a different character, obviously, but it's fuck. What's going on? then he starts going on about, I wasn't worthy enough to hold the Tesseract, so now I'm a guardian for the Soul Stone. And he's like, okay, the Soul, yeah. So it's like, oh, what are we doing? So anyway, they're carrying up to the top of the hill, top of the mountain, and it's like, there's only one way to get a Soul Stone. It's a soul for a soul. And it's like, oh, okay. Then he turns around and says to Thanos, you have to kill something that you love. And that's when Gamora starts like laughing. You don't care about anything. You don't
love
care.
nothing.
Then he turns around and he's crying. You actually see tears, and he's like. Then she's like, "What's going on here?" And then basically, Red Skull turns around and says to Gamora, "He's not crying for him. He's crying for you."
Yeah.
And it's like that's when he's like, "Shit, what does he mean by that?" Next thing you know, he grabs her, doesn't he? And he drags her to the edge.
She's trying to fight back. But
she tried to stab herself. She tried to stab herself and kill herself, but he turns her little dagger into bubbles. So he drags her to the edge, then throws her off, and she dies.
That's the last you see of Gamora. You just see her dead on the ground, done.
Right, I remember watching that.
Yeah.
The whole cinema was silent. I'm not thinking, fuck. No one said anything.
Shocked.
Like, wow.
That was a sad moment. There is a sadder moment, I must admit, in that film.
Yes,
we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. So basically, he basically wakes up in a pool of water. He opens his right hand, and there is the Soul Stone. So he's got another one.
That's right. Yeah.
So he's got now. So now at this point, he has got 4 stones. Right.
Yeah. He just needs another 2.
Yes. So, anyways, he goes back to Titan, and that's when you see the Avengers and Iron Man and Spider-Man, all that, they're hiding. Then you see Iron Man talking to Thanos, I think, and Thanos is like telling him, about how, the thing is, he makes
universes.
Yeah, but he only wants to destroy half the universe because there's only so many, so much food, so much, stuff like that. So he's trying to save the universe.
About Titan, doesn't it? What happened on Titan is his home place.
So basically, it makes him seem like he's like an eco-terrorist. So it's like he's not a bad guy because he's trying to look out for the universe. He's trying to save it how he can. So it's like, he's not really that bad, but you're killing. People like
it's sort of like
so you are
genocide and playing God, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Deciding who lives and who dies.
But you understand why he's doing it. Though. It's like, okay, I see why you're doing it, and it's like you kind of like have empathy for him. But then he starts getting into a fight. Fucking everyone started whooping him. Spider-Man throws webbing into his eyeballs, into his eyes,
which he hates.
Can't see. Yeah, which he gets.
And that happens actually in the comic version as well. That does.
Yes, it does. It does. Yeah, take that scene right from it. Then they're all fighting, Next, you got Nebula flying out of nowhere. She lands in it. She starts fighting. But then
she grips onto his shoulders, doesn't she? And she basically starts to control his mind. And
that's Mantis, isn't it?
Mantis. Yeah, you carry on. Yeah, carry on. You're right.
So she's like puts him like this like weird trance where he can't do any movement, can he? And it's like he's nearly like basically they're forcing his glove off. It's like, they're so close to doing it. But then what happens, right? Star-Lord. He comes. He just basically.
He wants to know what's happened to Gamora, doesn't he? He's basically asking Thanos, "Where's Gamora? What's happened to her?" And
then
he
Nebula
basically just tells her he's dead.
Well, Nebula turns around and goes, "Yeah, she's dead." It's like, shut up! Don't say that. Because then the glove.
Yes, because she's like, oh, he's in a lot of distress. It seems like he's lost someone and all this.
Mourning. Yeah. So basically, then the glove's nearly off. What happens? Star-Lord starts wailing on Thanos' face, and Mantis falls off and loses that mind thing. Spider-Man gets the glove off, but then Thanos grabs it, punches him off, puts his hand back in the thing, and kicks the shit out of all of them.
Yeah, he batters them. He lays into them.
But
then it pans away from them then.
No. Then he stabs. So basically, he gets into a fight with Iron Man, stabs him up, and you're thinking, "Oh shit, Iron Man's dead." Because he gets proper stabbed up. You think, "Oh no, not Tony Stark. Don't let him die." So he's sitting down. He's fucking dying. That's when
suit's mashed up. His suit proper mashed up. That whole bit's hanging off it, ripped. Half his helmet's missing.
he got basically a whole massive scar when he got impaled. Next thing you know, Doctor Strange comes out after he does all his Hindu arm multiple type things. He gets battered as well.
Yeah.
But he says, if you let him live, I'll give you the Time Stone. And you're like,
he actually puts up a good fight up against him, doesn't he? Because he multiplies himself and things like that, and uses the whips and stuff that he has.
Yeah, and the band of Sitrack. Then his cloak goes around the gauntlet, so he can't close his hand. Because that's when the power activates, when he closes his glove, and he couldn't close it, could he? But then he rips the cloak off. He beats them all up. Then it's like, look, Star Trek was like, if you let Iron Man live, I will give you the Time Stone. We're thinking like, oh fuck, not the time. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Then he goes, okay. So basically, Doctor Strange gets the stone out of nowhere, just plucks it out of the air, gives it to Thanos. Yep. Then Thanos fucks off through the portal, doesn't he?
Well, there's a bit here. There's a bit that straight after this, there's a bit here. What Doctor Strange says. He says something like, Tony, after handing over the Time Stone that for Thanos to lose, he had to first win. He had to succeed in eliminating half of the cosmos, so that the rest of the plot to defeat him could take hold. So that's where you've got the thing that Doctor Strange knows that he has to give him the Time Stone.
Yeah. So basically,
for them to succeed to beating him.
So in theory, that means that this universe or this reality that they're in now is the one where it's the win. So we hope that, and basically, Tony Stark is a big part of it. That's why he couldn't die. So,
yeah.
So basically, so the scene goes off there. Then it goes to the big fucking fight, the big battle in Wakanda. Oh man, that shit is good, right? So it starts off basically. The
Avengers jet lands, doesn't it?
Yep. You see Black Panther and all the Royal Guards. You see Bucky, right? The Winter Soldier. He's there. He's got a new arm. It's like the White Wolf and all that shit.
Prior to that, isn't there? There's a bit prior to that where you see, is it T'Challa, the king of the Black Panther, basically. He goes out to like a farm outside of the actual outside of the shield shield of Wakanda, and he's there with no arm, and he calls him White Wolf, doesn't he?
Yeah, and there's a reference to that in the comic book, because in the comic book, White Wolf was actually a white kid adopted by the Black Panther's dad, and he became the White Wolf, and he led like a team or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. But yeah, he was in the comic book. But I don't think he was actually Bucky in this version, but they just used the name White Wolf.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's an entirely different character.
Yeah. So basically he gets his arm back, and he's like, oh, where's the fight? And he's like, Black Panther, he's coming soon.
Yeah, it gives him a machine gun as well, doesn't it?
Oh, that gun is sick. So yeah, so basically they all get together. They bring Vision to Wakanda to get repaired. Because they're thinking that they can take the stone away and destroy the stone, and keep Vision as the Vision,
alive,
alive, and all his personalities. So they try to get.
Well, by attack, Vision wants to die, doesn't he? He says, "Look, if there's no other way, kill me, destroy the stone and kill me, because if that's going to save Earth." But they obviously nobody wants to do that because they want to keep Vision alive. So they're trying to go down another road and try and remove it surgically without killing him.
And that's when one of the scientists from Wakanda takes the mickey out of like, why do you do it this way? Because we didn't think about it. It's like, oh, okay. So they're trying to keep him alive. That's when the big invasion comes. Like the ships fall out of the sky and it lands on the shield, and one of them blows up, but then the other ones land outside the shield. Then you see these creatures called the Outriders, which are like forearms, body, teeth. Oh,
like dogs, don't they? A bit.
Yeah, and millions. They always run toward the shield, and you see they're trying to get through the shield, but the shield cuts them in half and kills them. But they keep doing it. But then eventually the shield weakens, and a few get through, and that's when you see Black Panther and all of them start running towards it. But then the dogs go round the whole of the perimeter, and then the guys say, "Look, open a little part of it." so they don't circle us. Because if they come through the back way, we can't defend ourselves. So they open a bit in the front, and they all come charging through. And that's when you see the Captain America and you see Black Panther. They all run into battle.
Just sprinting.
Yeah, they're like gone. They're like, Usain Bolt. They're gone. It's only them two. And they jump into
see
the
them
fight.
leap through the air and just fighting, going mad.
Oh,
Crazy.
man, that fight was
and prior to that,
wicked,
they give Hulk, they give Bruce Banner the Hulk Buster because he can't change the Hulk. They give Bruce Banner Hulk Buster to use.
Yeah, but have you noticed that in the trailer, you saw the Hulk running with everybody, but in this scene, he got took out, and you see him wearing the Hulk Buster. And
they also show you Warmonger as well in that crowd of people. And obviously Warmonger died in Black Panther. Sorry for the spoiler there if you haven't seen Black Panther, but he was the bad guy. But there is a theory behind that. What they did is when they put the trailer out to try and push people off the scent of what was going to happen so people couldn't determine what was going to happen, they changed that scene. And obviously because, the Hulk's is CGI and so is the Hulk Buster, so they could switch them around easily. So that's what they did. To cover it up.
Good idea, man. Good idea, wasn't it? To be fair.
Yeah.
So, right anyway, so the
battle's stop any like spoilers happening prior to the movie coming out, basically.
So everyone's fighting, shit's kicking off. What's the next thing that happens? Who joins the fight? Big Bifrost coming down, middle of the battlefield. Boom. Here comes Thor. You got Rocket on his shoulder, and you got Groot next to him. Bam. Oh. Thor takes out half the army in one shot. Just rips him up, man. It's like
his Stormbreaker seems to just like destroy him because the Black Panther and the rest of them, they're like struggling. It shows you like they're on the ground. There's like six of these monsters all over them trying to kill them.
Yeah.
And they're struggling, and they're just like whatever they do, like the shield's not hurting them. Bucky's gun's not killing them. So yeah, as soon as Thor lands though, just like all the lightning going everywhere, just killing everything in its path.
Yeah.
He's wiping them out.
Then it's like, fuck. So basically that happens, that everyone started kicking the shit out of him. Thor whooping him. Then you see Bucky pick up Rocket, spin him around, shooting everybody. And it's like, that just reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie. And then Rocky's like, do you want to sell the gun? Like, Bucky's like, no. What about your arm? Then he just walks off. And Rocky's like,
anything for the price.
I'll get that later. It's like he's like planning to steal his arm already. And you see Groot killing all the people with his, this arm like he normally does. But then it changes again when the two sons, well, the children of Thanos comes. One guy he comes from the back, doesn't he? After the Scarlet Witch, he leaves the back. You see the fight, and he's like shit. Cause you got a big wheel thing coming out of the ground, don't you? It's huge. Like, big,
everyone's starting to die and stuff, so she has to jump down and fight.
So she leaves it, and then you got one of the royal guards going, "Why does she stay back there?" It's like she should have been out here straight away. You know what I mean? 'Cause she's doing damn much damage because she's killing everything, right? So one of the, I think it's Corvus Glaive, comes out and he attacks Vision, and Captain America sees it, so he's like, "Okay, guys, get to Vision."
Let me just stop you one sec there, True.
Yeah.
Right. The scene in that, before that, Vision's obviously on a hospital, not a hospital bed, but he's on a operating theatre.
Yeah.
Now, I can't remember her name, but the woman from Black Panther, the one who's dead technically good with the vibranium and stuff like that.
Black Panther's sister.
She starts like swiping because she's doing everything in like mid-air on like a hologram. And she's swiping. Now there's a theory that she's got the stuff to keep Vision alive. She swipes it and takes it, what was in the air. So that's another theory why some people
put it on
think,
a hard drive or something.
Yes, that she can actually bring Vision back.
That's a good theory. Could happen. It's possible. It's possible, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have downloaded his memory and everything, his mind. So yeah.
If they can obviously repair him, because he's a machine, isn't he, basically?
Well, yeah, because it's fair. He is actually he's part Ultron. He's part I think it was Tony Stark's butler. All that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
There's part of him that could do it. Yeah. So yeah, but his body gets chucked out the window because he had a fight with that Corvus Glaive. And Proxima Midnight gets into a fight with Scarlet Witch, one of that royal guard, the head leader, I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
And also Black Widow. And they get into a proper fight. It's like proper, Proxima Black, looks like she's going to about to kill Black Widow. Scarlet Witch lifts her up and she gets run over by that wheel thing and just gets ripped apart.
See, then I thought, when I was watching it in the movies, I thought that Valkyrie was going to drop down then. Valkyrie would appear to help him, and because it was all women kind of fighting. But obviously, we haven't seen her, so we don't know.
You don't know if she's
but I
alive
thought
or
that
dead
was
at the
what
moment.
may have happened. Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
would
would
be
say
cool.
she's alive. From what happens at the end of the movie, and not seeing anything happen to her then, I would say because anybody that was important or a character, you see their demise, don't you? Basically.
Yeah.
So I would say she's still alive.
We'll hope so, because she could be a love interest for Thor later on, anyways. But that's a whole other discussion. But then
definitely.
you also see the Hulkbuster having a fight with Black Dwarf. And oh man, that fight is good.
He's getting whooped.
Yeah, and he's there going, "Come on, Hulk! Come on, Hulk!" And Hulk's like, "No, no." So it's either Hulk's scared or something. He doesn't want to come out. So he goes, "I'll find out." Bruce's like, "I'll find out. I'll do it myself then." So he basically gets his arm ripped off and he puts that arm onto Black Dwarf and ignites it. And Black Dwarf flies up into the air, hits the shield, and blows the fuck up, man. That's like, yeah.
It's got rid of him.
Yep.
So they've lost one to the giant wheel, one to the rocket.
You got one that's got
left?
blown out in space. Then you got Corvus Glaive. That's it. So he was fighting. He was fighting with Captain America, and he was about to kill Captain America when the Vision, who didn't listen to the Captain America, was like, "Run, get out of here!" Right? Stabs him through the chest with his own spear.
Oh, right, yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah. So then he died. Then next thing you know, Vision's out on the ground. Like, "Oh, you got to kill me, Wanda. You got to." So basically, Scarlet Witch is there. You got to kill me. You need to destroy me.
She's crying.
Like, "No, I don't want." Yeah, she's as they do.
In hysterics. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, tissues everywhere. Right. Then what happens? She does it. She starts putting power into his gem, and
He's starting to shatter the stone.
Yeah, but Thanos turns the fuck up, doesn't he? He's like, "Oh shit!" So he turns up. Then, so all the Avengers are finally there. They're trying to fight him.
Yeah. We're getting the asses whooped.
Yeah, Captain America gets knocked the fuck out. It's like, what? He holds the glove for a few seconds. Like, yeah, he's strong enough. Bam!
No.
Smacked onto the floor. Like, nah, mate.
Black Panther, he gets a whooping. They all do.
They all get whooped, yeah.
Every single one. Bucky, all of them.
Vision. Then what's her name? Scarlet Witch. She uses another hand, puts power into him.
She shatters the stone, doesn't she?
She shatters him, and he actually dies. He disappears. But then he does, because he's got the time stone.
Thanos uses the reality. Yeah, he's got the time stone.
He turns his hand to the left. The green stuff comes out. Time goes back a few seconds. He grabs Vision, and he rips the fucking stone out of his head. And you see, it's not like it's a little to pull it out. He rips half his head off.
Tears it out. Now the difference between that and the comic, though, in the comic, Thanos rips all the components out of Vision's chest and out his stomach.
Yeah.
Before he kills him and takes the stone. But yeah, and he basically smashes Black Widow out of the way, and basically just batters Vision, rips the stone out, and kills him.
Throws the body on the floor, and you see a massive hole in the head. Then he puts the gem into, and you can see when he puts the gem into the glove, it's all complete. You can see all the colours going through his neck.
Power running through him.
Yeah, you're like, shit. Then, basically, they're about to fight him. What did he do? He holds up his hands. His gauntlet.
Four, and Four's fighting him then with the Stormbreaker, smashing him. And he rams it straight through his chest.
Yeah. He's like, "You should have gone for the head." It's like, what? You should have gone for the head.
Should have gone for the head, yeah. And
that's it.
Then all he does is clicks his fingers, and then half the population dies.
Yeah.
People just start turning to dust. So Black Panther turns to dust.
Well, the first one, the first one was Bucky. He's like,
Yeah, Bucky.
Steve falls on the ground, disappears. Next one you see is like you see Falcon. Groot.
Yeah, Falcon.
Falcon, and there's like one people. Falcon, where are you? Where? Like, oh. Then you see Black Panther. I didn't think Black Panther was gonna die, because he's like, oh, come on, get up. You can't die here. He disappears. But then you go on to the Guardian of the Galaxy. You see Drax. He disappears. Mantis. Star Lord.
Yeah, because it pans over to Titan then, doesn't it, where you see all the rest of them.
But then, this is where I felt really, it's like, oh shit. You see Spider-Man, it's like, oh, Tony, I don't feel well, I feel a bit ill. Because I think it's the Spider sense telling them that something's wrong, but everyone else is confused. He's like, I can feel something, And it's like, he holds him, like, I don't want to die, I don't want to go.
Die, So the tears start welling up there, the movie.
Yeah. I'm like, no, man, not him.
Like, don't let me go, Tony.
So he's on the ground, and he starts, he disappears, it's like...
and then Doctor Strange disappears as well.
Yeah, Doctor Strange goes. Then basically, it pans back to Earth to Wakanda, and you've got like all the original Avengers. You got Thor, you got Hulk, Bruce Banner, Captain America,
and Iron Man. So all the 4 originals are basically
the proper originals. Yeah, they're still alive. Then it's like the movie starts ending. It's like shit. Then did you notice that the credits where it says Avengers Infinity Wars, that disappears in the same way as the dust?
Yeah,
like, fuck.
And you see then Thanos inside the Soul Stone.
Yes, and he's just like he's a farmer or something. He sits there smiling, looking at the sunset, innit? You can see his armor.
Gamora.
Armor's on the Scarecrow. Yeah, it's just like fuck, man. He just sits there like he doesn't give a shit. He's like, I'm just gonna sit here, smile, have a blunt, be fine. Fuck you all.
Yeah, well, he seems to be like, he's like, yeah,
he's content.
Because the basically the gauntlet smashed to pieces, like disintegrated. It's all in bits. Yeah, and he when he goes to the Soul Stone, he sees Gamora when she's a child, and she asks him a question, but I can't remember what the question was. She says something to him, and he says something like you don't care, basically. Not really bothered.
He just sits
like
there
it went wrong, sort of thing. I messed it up. Yeah.
Yeah. There is
a theory that Thanos wanted to be a farmer, and that's why the last scene really is where
in the comic he is.
Yeah. Is he? All right.
Yeah. He
so that's where the last scene is, where he's on the farm.
So that's what he does. So he's there farming. Then the screen goes black, and that's the end of that. Then the credits roll. Then we come to the very end scene. The
post-credit scene,
which has to always be in the Marvel movies. So what that is you've got a black car, right? And you've got Nick Fury and I think it's Marie Hills driving the car.
Yeah.
Next thing you see another car in front of it spins out, so they stop. They get out.
You see a helicopter crash into a building.
Yep. Then Marie Hill, she disappears. So Nick rushes to the back of the car, picks them up, and he's like got something in his right hand. But then he starts disappearing. Yeah, but it's like proper modified, isn't it? But then he disappears. And just before we go in the classic Samuel Jackson, it was like disappears. Then the page.
He's quickly typing something into. He's typing something before he dies.
Then the page drops on the floor and it's sending. Then what turned up at the very end when it sends?
That's
Captain Marvel.
Marvel. That's it. You see the Captain Marvel like symbol on the screen on it, so you know that because obviously we know that the Captain Marvel movie is coming in. I know it's been pushed back. It was supposed to be this year, but it's been pushed back to next year now.
Yeah.
So which is a shame. So I wanted to.
I'm hoping that it's going to be out before. I'm hoping it's going to be out before the new whatever the Avengers movie is, because that's been pushed.
Yeah,
that's going to be in 2019. Yeah. But then that ends, and then the very last thing says Thanos will be back. Like shit. I've never been so pumped for this movie. This movie is amazing.
Definitely. So what we know from obviously now on that Captain Marvel's coming. Now, we don't know whether they're going to bring Adam Warlock into it though as well.
Yeah, I mean, he was teased in one of the he was in Galaxy Guardians 2 in the end credits. I mean, he's a powerful character as well, so hopefully he will be in it. I mean,
him and Captain Marvel probably the only two that can stop Thanos, really.
Yeah, well, there's loads of characters that can probably do it, but they're the strongest ones, I say. I mean, you've got Galactus and stuff like that, but in this moment, I think it'll be Captain Marvel or Adam Warlock. I mean, Adam can bring the dead back. You know what I mean?
I would run with Captain Marvel as the fact that obviously the movie's coming out just before. I don't know how many. I think it's only a few months before the Avengers actual movie comes out as well.
Yeah.
So, and we know that Spider-Man: Homecoming is coming out 2 months after that. Comes out in July. So, I think it comes out in May. The Avengers does, and then Homecoming 2, which we're not sure if that is the actual proper name for it, comes out after that. But I've heard that Spider-Man: Homecoming 2 is going to back off from the Avengers thing, because obviously Spider-Man is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, so the chances are it's going to be the characters from the Spider-Man universe that he's going to be fighting with in that movie. But obviously the end credits will pan into something else that brings all the Avengers again.
But the thing is though, I have a feeling that not all the Avengers, all the people that died, they're not all going to come back, because if they bring every single person back, it's going to cheapen their deaths in this movie, and they don't want to do that. I reckon they're going to keep a few people dead.
Like I said, there's been a set photo shown of a cast photo from the next movie, because both films were filmed together, weren't they? Infinity War 1 and 2, they've both been filmed. They're already in the can. They're done. There's a group photo, and it's showing a hell of a lot more people that were already dead. It showed Michael Douglas in this photo as well.
Yeah, he's the guy from
and Wasp as well. Yeah, so they were all in it. So I'm guessing towards the end of the movie in Infinity War 2, Part 2, that everyone's going to be there. All of them. Hawkeye, all of them. But,
yeah, but
obviously we know that
what about the ones
Captain
that are dead, though? Like Gamora.
They're gone.
Back in it?
Right. Gamora, I think, obviously when me and you spoke in the cinema, we thought that Loki, Gamora, and Vision, possibly Vision, we're not sure about Vision, they're gone.
But,
they're out.
Anybody that got killed before the snap, yeah?
Yeah, basically, yeah, pretty much. Or he clicked his finger. So, but we know Captain Marvel set in the 90s because we've seen a photo with Nick Fury where he's got both eyes and no eye patch.
Well, I reckon, so what they're doing that movie, and it's going to end up to now, where she gets a message on a pager. That's what I reckon. Yeah,
pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it's going to bring her into the fray, into it.
Yeah. So anyway, I can't wait for this Captain Marvel. I want to see that movie now, basically. I want to know what happens next.
Yeah.
And I want to see the...
Well, you guys, you better look out for it. We'll obviously do... a review of that one as well when that comes out.
Yeah. Right, so
and
guys,
Ant-Man and Wasp as well.
Yeah. So if you guys have any comments, you want to say what you think of the movie, we want to see it in the comments. We want to know what you guys think. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Let us know, because that's what we do in this sport.
This is just our opinion of things.
Yeah.
We don't know for certain because we don't work for the movie company.
we just love the movie. If we want to watch it, this is our theory, and hopefully it's right. If not, it's not. So yeah, let us know what you guys think, and if you like this video, please leave a like and press the bell so subscribe, sub, and do the bell, and let us know what you think. I'm True.
And I'm Rev. Peace out.
Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.